Okay, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me tonight live. And then for those that watch the playback, thank you so much for doing that. I always appreciate it. I've been thinking a lot about this Zoom and ways that I could make it better for you. Because what I've been realizing lately, and I'm sure you guys realize this too, but when I'm in a funk and I feel like things aren't moving along, it's typically because I'm not in action, or I'm not sharing this with people, or I'm not showing the ABC report, or I'm not doing one-on-ones. And in the last month, I've been very, very intentional of like really feeling my calendar when I want it filled as much as possible and just getting myself in front of people. And when I get in front of people, a lot of times what the people that I'm networking with now are women in my networking groups. I'm trying to expand my list. I'm trying to meet new people. And when I go into these meetings, I don't have an agenda. I am not in my mind thinking about what I'm going to say next. I am not in my mind thinking about the fact that they need to know what I have. In my mind, I want to make a relationship. I want to know about them. And if there is a need, if I find through conversation that they are ill, or they have someone in their family that is ill, or maybe they have a financial need, or maybe they're looking for a side hustle, then that's when I bring it up, right? Because they presented a pain point to me. And then I can say, you know, based on what you've just told me, I have something you might want to take a look at. And it's worked very, very well. It's been very organic, very natural. And I just really, really enjoyed it. And every time I do that, every time I get to talk about LifeVantage, every time I get to talk about Per Tandem and the stories, I'm always brought back to the place that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, doing what I'm supposed to do, giving the gift that God gave me to share with other people. And so when you are questioning it and when things aren't going well, I'm telling you, find somebody to talk to about what you have, or set up a one-on-one. Find someone to share this with, because it will remind you of what we have. And so that being said, with Team Acts Zoom on Tuesday nights, I really want this to be a reminder to you of what we have. And one of the things I listened to recently, Michelle Post sent out, was a podcast. I don't remember his name. Diana, if you could, what's his name?
Ed Mylett.
Ed Mylett. Okay. So it's just 20 minutes. I sent it out again this morning because I listened to it again. And he just talks about how to create motion and movement in your life. And he just talks about finding that mission statement, finding that purpose, that thing that just really, really drives you, that dream that you're so tied to, that you live it, you talk it, you walk it, it's just a part of you. And the greatest example I can think of is Michelle Poe, right? Like, she lives and breathes LifeVantage. It's in every pore of her body. Whether it's with your family, though, your faith, LifeVantage, your relationship with your spouse, your relationship with your children, having those missions to make sure that they know that they're appreciated, having those missions that they know that when people are with you, or when they become a customer of yours, their experience as a customer with you is so amazing. They cannot wait to go tell their friends about the service that they received. Because we are not LifeVantage when it comes to servicing our customers, right? LifeVantage really just ships the product. The service part of it, taking care of them, checking in on them, sending them thank you cards, sending them Axio samples, sending them a free hand cream if they've been a good customer for 3 to 6 months, that's on us. You have to be very intentional to make the time to do that. And by doing that, they're going to want to refer people to you because they love how you make them feel. And they're staying invested in it, and they're probably going to try more products because of you. So that being said, every week, I'm going to ingrain it into all of our brains. I'm going to read to you the LifeVantage mission statement, because I just think we should know it. I think it should be a part of us. We are entrepreneurs of LifeVantage. It's only right that we know that mission statement and that we have that belief, and it just becomes a part of us. So the LifeVantage mission statement is: we dare to imagine an abundant world where both physical and financial health is optimized. We believe your well-being matters. That's why we've combined the cutting-edge research of nutrigenomics with a leveraged plan to build your own legacy. Bam, drop the mic. So good. Okay, so next, and then I'm going to end the call every week with a product testimonial, and we are going to celebrate you guys. We're going to do shout outs, we're going to welcome new team members, and we're just going to raise the roof. All right? All right. Okay, so Mother's Day, and then we're going to get to our special guest. Mother's Day promotion is in swing, in full swing. Hopefully you all know about this. If you get a True Science skincare system, they get a free hand cream. It's the same price. Everything's the same price. There's no special price. They're just getting free items with it. If they order the hair care system, they get a hair care sample. And this goes until, I don't even know the date, till Mother's Day, I believe. Saturday? Probably till Saturday. Sorry, I don't know the date. If someone knows that, let me know and just unmute yourself and tell us. But on Vitality Hustle, the Pose are doing another promotion. So you can go to Vitality Hustle. I'm going to go there now because I just want to share this with you guys to make sure everyone knows about this. Let's see. I want to make sure that you see, because Mark Johnson created a spreadsheet that I printed out for myself. And it's just a spreadsheet where you can keep track of all of the Mother's Day promotions that you sell. This can be a spot order. This can be an extra order that a customer does, or it can be a subscription order. So if you go to Vitality Hustle, right here on the right, under recent group files, you'll see the Mother's Day form. And you can just go ahead and print that out. And here's what the promo is. So it's a Mother's Day raffle, just like they did for the end of April. So with the raffle, you get one ticket for every Mother's Day special that is ordered. That's why you have to track it on this sheet. It is up to you to track your own. The highest PV in Mother's Day sales will win a grand prize at the end. And then you must complete and submit this tracker form to your Pro 5 leader by midnight on May 13th. And then they will do a drawing again with tons of different gifts based on the people that have submitted their form and have gotten Mother's Day orders in. Now, when it comes to the Mother's Day orders, I suggest to you, I have been letting all of my customers know about the Mother's Day promotions. I have been letting anyone that's been on the fence with hair care, letting them know about a Mother's Day promotion. Just got an order tonight because of it. She ordered the hair care set. She's been waiting, and finally ordered it because she gets a free sample with it. I would say when you post on Facebook, right, we know that you can post on your wall. We know that you can also do stories. I would suggest on those stories showing before and afters of women with the hair care that you can find on Vitality Living. Those are going to get people's attention. And then maybe just a little blurb at the end saying, so excited about our Mother's Day promotions. Contact me if you want more info. And that's it. Keeping it simple. Let the pictures do the talking. And then maybe 2 days later, doing the same thing with True Science. And then maybe in the day in between, doing a live about why you love our products so much, or doing a live with maybe a customer or someone you know that has had success with the hair care system, or just putting yourself out there and maybe not even talking about that, but doing a live so that their eyes are on your page for when you do expose those before and afters with the pictures. Just really, really work this in a big way because people are looking for those, right? I just had a girl tonight. I love her. I go to church with her and she's doing Rodan and Fields. It's her first MLM and she's just so cute. And she's just so unapologetic about the way she's approaching all the sales that they have. And she sent me a voice text. She's like, hey, Tanya, I know that you had mentioned you wanted to try one of their things, a scrubber thing. And I don't know what it's called. And she just wanted to know if I was still thinking about it. They had Mother's Day promotions going on and now would be a great time to get it. And of course I wanted to know about that, right? I was really excited that she reached out to me and she did it via voice text and I heard all of her excitement with it. It wasn't just a message. So put yourself out there, be intentional with it. And what I love about these promotions too, is when there's a deadline and we have more sense of urgency, we can have more excitement behind our voice when we're talking to people about it. Okay, the rest we'll save for after. So Rich Scott, our very own Rich Scott, he was at a conference in Atlanta this last weekend. and it was called the Current Conference. And it was a leadership conference, and he very quickly, while he was there, was like texting me these pictures saying, this is awesome, this is amazing, such great information. And then right away, we were kind of on the both, like literally at the same time, we text each other saying that he should share this on the team Zoom. So, and we know anytime Rich learns stuff like this, he's so good at the way that he teaches it and pays it forward. So Rich, I would love for you to share some of your big takeaways from the weekend that you learned that will affect us, that we can also utilize in our business.
Well, thank you, Tanya. Appreciate that. Yeah, I was at an event called Current 19, and I love what it says underneath here. It says connect, engage, advance. And I love it. You know, it's almost like you read my PowerPoint that I'm going to show Tanya. It's like weird because some of what you talked about is literally tongue and groove what I'm going to talk about. So I just have a few slides. I just want you guys to know I've been going to this group called C12, Businesses for a Greater Purpose. This is one of my binders. A year and a half I've been going to this thing. And when I first heard about C12, which is the people that put on this conference, I wasn't even an employee of this company yet, and they invited me to come to this group. And I didn't even know what the company did, but I wanted to be part of this group, this C12 group, because they're very focused on connecting with people, engaging them where they are. And then for all of that, you advance them for a greater purpose in life. And that's what we do in this business. You know, we have amazing products, but as we all know, it's not about our products. It's about the relationships. It just so happens that we have something that's amazing and very science-based. So I'm going to see if I can share my screen. Can I? Yeah, I should be able to. All right. You know me, I got to have a couple of slides. And so let me know if you can thumbs up if you can actually see that. Okay. So welcome to Tanya's Team Act training. You know, we're all on a journey. We're all on a road. And this is a graphic that I made for our company. But you see the sign in the upper right corner? It says one way. This is just my personal thought process. You know, God, when I stand before my maker one day, he's not going to ask me how many bottles of per tandem I sold. I mean, I want to sell a lot, don't get me wrong. But the purpose of what we do this for is a lot bigger. It's a lot bigger mission. And so on this journey, I'd be asking yourself, what kind of legacy are you leaving, you know, in the lives of the people around you? And that's why I went to this conference, this Connect conference. And so let's see, there we go. So it was called Current 19. I said that. It was out there in Atlanta, Georgia. If you haven't been out to Atlanta, Georgia, it's pretty interesting place. It's where Coca-Cola actually started. So they got you don't even dare drink Pepsi. You'll be in trouble. But who drinks that when you got Axia, right? All right. So this is, I don't know.
The reality to be able to be in a business and to run it for a greater purpose. As you begin to tell people about the Lord, and as you begin to start doing ministry, the opportunities are great because you see people's lives change. You see just entire families and generations that are changed simply by the name of Jesus.
What I want to suggest to you as CEOs, our job is to be leaders who create leaders who put themselves at the service of God for God's kingdom work. I want to suggest we be thinking about when we go, how are we multiplying leaders?
We both pray together, Lord, let us love our employees. Let us put in our way how we can bring them closer to you. That's when I realize that we're not in the cleaning business, we're in the people business. So when we wake up every day, it's not to run a business, but it's to run our ministry.
How do we engage the world around us, broken, divided, confused, and angry? And I think the answer is to raise up a 9-to-5 mission force on mission to show and share the love of Jesus in the midst of a broken and hurting world. Christianity's not collapsing. Well, the sky's not falling, but the ground most definitely is shifting.
Just don't stay stuck, friends. Never settle. In the kingdom, we never, ever settle. We never quit. We keep going back to the Lord and asking Him again and again, God, help me. I want to be all you want me to be.
So it was a phenomenal event. I almost felt in a weird way that I was at Elite Academy. And why I say that is because, as you know, if you've ever been to Elite Academy, I think everybody on here has, except Cindy yet, she's going, it's an amazing event. It's because of the relationships. It's because of the connection. It's you listen to someone tell a story and it resonates with you. And so I want to share just a couple of my biggest takeaways and how I believe truly that it dovetails well with what we do as storytellers, as messengers of this amazing message. And so I want to introduce you to a guy by the name of Alex Willis. Alex Willis was the MC of the event, and he had a dream that he wanted to play for the University of Florida. He wanted to be a Gator. All his life, he wanted to be a Gator. Well, there was a problem. He was small. He was tiny. And but his athleticism stood out in high school. And even though he was 130 pounds as a wide receiver, he still got a scholarship to the University of Florida. And he put in a lot of work as a young person to get to that point. And I think about us in this business. Many of us, when we first start, we're literally like, we're just getting started. We're just learning to play the game. And many people quit along that process because it gets difficult. And if you think about a child that goes out for football, how many of those kids who played in school end up going to like middle school and high school? The pack starts thinning out, and it's the person who's tenacious that gets it done. And we would never discourage someone from joining a football team as a child and say, hey, you know what, your odds of going to the NFL are tiny. Why even put in the effort? We would never do that to a kid. But isn't it crazy how you decide to go out for your dreams in network marketing and understand that LifeVantage is a vehicle, and the people around you discourage you? Oh, who do you think you are to be successful? Who do you think you are to accomplish things? And so we hear all of that, and it kind of hinders us from our dreams. But Alex was focused. He knew what he wanted, and he made it to the University of Florida. And he was really good in high school, but there was a problem. It's a little different playing the football league than it is high school, and his level of skill was challenged. And this is hilarious. He told a lot of funny stories, but this one, imagine walking on to Florida, and you're literally maybe 140 pounds at this time, and he walks into the gym and he meets his strength training coach that's 6'5", 290 pounds, and his name is Pat. He says, my name's Pat, and I'm your friend. And he proceeds to beat him in weight training and conditioning for the next hour and a half. And Alex falls on the floor in sweat, and he's exhausted, and Pat walks over to him and says, get up off my floor, you're making it dirty, now go grab a mop. Remember, I'm your friend. Now, that is some serious tenacity to do the work, right? Well, it doesn't stop there. This is the sideline, and this is the view that Alex had for 2.5 years, watching people go out there and make plays and dreams accomplished for themselves. And he sat on the sidelines for 1.5 years. Every practice he was there. He put in the work. He did everything. In fact, this is hilarious. Alex said that he would stand behind the coach because the camera was on the coach. And if his family saw the coach, they'd see him to know he's actually on the team, even though he never touched the field. So I thought that was hilarious. He just wanted people to know he was actually on the team. And here's what I would ask you. Do you guys feel like in your business you're on the sideline I mean, you're on the team, right? You see people making the big plays, right? You see them accomplishing things, but you don't feel like it's coming fast enough for you. You don't have your team growing as fast. Am I the only one who feels that way? I'm sure I'm not. So it came to this point when there was a fumble and the wide receiver got hurt, and the coach turned to his players and said, "Give me a wide receiver." Well, Alex was standing there. And so the coach looks him square in the eyes for like 30 seconds, which seemed longer than that. And he said, "Give me another wide receiver." As he looked around, there's got to be somebody else. And that's exactly what happened. He was almost got passed over. He basically said, "Are you ready to do this?" And he said, "Coach, put me in. I'm ready." Because in his mind, this is what he said: "I did the work for 2.5 years. I never missed a practice. I caught the catch. I did everything that was necessary." When the coach turned to me and said, "Are you ready?" And that's actually a real picture of Willis right there. And so Willis not only played the game, but he caught 5 passes and over 120 yards in that single game, his first time on the field. And he goes on to basically tell that in life, are you doing the work when are you doing the work so the opportunity, when it comes, you're ready for it? And here's how I would translate that to you guys. It is not important to focus on the rank. What is important is to focus on the habits. If you develop the habits, and we all know the habits, right? 15 presentations a month, minimum, 200 PV, on and on and on. You know it. Tanya's taught it. If you're doing the work, when the opportunity comes and a leader comes to you and says, "I'm interested in what you have," are you ready to be their leader? Because you're not just giving them lip service. You're saying, "This is what I do. This is the duplication that I am creating in my team." And so are you ready to get in there, Willis? So that was the first thing. I mean, he went on and said a whole bunch of other stuff. And if you want to know some more great stuff, I can tell you one-on-one. The second thing I really was a big takeaway, and this is going to be really helpful for us idiot guys and anybody on the replay. Benny, you better be listening to this, because someday you want to get married and you want to have some success. So if you haven't read the book, Love and Respect, it blew my mind. I didn't even know it existed. And the basic question is, what message do you hear when someone speaks to you? And this is beyond just relationships with husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend. It's with your prospects, because we all communicate in a different way. And so I want to give you a couple of my big takeaways, my thumbs up that I got from it. Number one is when I learned, basically, when I talk with my wife and I get frustrated with her and I walk away, she takes that as an act of hostility. Me, I'm thinking, I don't want to fight right now. I mean, it's better for me to walk away than to say something I'll regret. And that's how I take it. Well, she doesn't take it that way. She takes it as an act of hostility. And when she gets in my grill, I don't understand. She confronts me it's a way to connect and show she actually cares. So us men, we need to really get this down, because Tanya put me on the phone with Carrie Dickey when I first signed up. And she said, "Listen, Buster," this is Carrie Dickey telling me, "Listen, Buster, network marketing is made up of women. If you don't understand how they think, you're never going to have any success." So I'm still working on it, but that's the thing. Remember, if a woman confronts you, it's mostly because she cares and she's trying to connect with you. And so that was a big takeaway for me. And so that was cool. All right, so what else I got here? So I love this. Listen, read this statement. "I don't have anything to wear." Okay, well, this is what a woman says. "I don't have anything new to wear." When she says, "I don't have anything to wear," this is what she actually means, right? Now, when I say it, "I don't have anything clean to wear," it's what I'm thinking. When I say that statement, "I don't have anything to wear," it's because I don't have anything clean. It's all dirty. It's the same exact thing, but it's completely different. So he goes on to say, women think in pink and men think in blue. No one is wrong. We're just different. And I love that. And so he goes on to say, I love this part of it. He says, if women think in pink and men think in blue, when you put them together, what do you get? You get purple. And purple is the color of royalty. And so that's what's beautiful about relationships and marriage, is that we're supposed to be a representation of God. And that's what I really like about those colors getting combined. So here's the thing. Love, it's love and respect. Men want to be respected more than they want to be loved. And women want to be loved more than they want to be respected. Now, we all want both, don't get me wrong, but we communicate in a way. So as you're sharing this story with people, it may help you to kind of understand how they hear things, especially if they're the opposite sex. So I thought that was a huge, huge takeaway. If you're interested in knowing more about this conference is actually coming up in June. It's down near Sacramento. I drew an arrow for those in Idaho to know how you can get through Medford, come say hi to me, and then come down to California. But my company that I'm working at is talking about paying for some people to go. But anyway, this love and respect is pretty awesome. So as Tanya probably would say, use these powers for good, because I would totally use the word so that I could get what I want, which is respect. But I need to make sure that I use my powers for good. All right. Anyway, so I want to just end with this. If you're not doing the habits, you're not going to be ready when it's time for God to lead you to a leader. You need to be at a lead academy, because it's those behaviors that you're going to be able to duplicate with your team. And I told Cindy when she signed up, I said, you need to be here. If it's a challenge financially, hey, let's sign up some platinum packs. Let's earn your way. Let's figure out how we can make it happen, not just give up. And that's what I love about this company and in our leadership, is the mentors are there to help you. But if you don't put in the work, you're never going to get put in. So remember that. So anyways, as Tanya would say, this was awesome. Love and sunshines. This is Tanya. Thank you for attending team training.
Thank you so much, Rich. I love that. Every piece of it. So when you said that, so my youngest daughter, Elena, right, she's doing weightlifting, and she is really blessed to be able to next Saturday go to a personalized training. There's just 20 people that will be there. And the woman that will be teaching her is probably half the size of Elena. I think she just competed recently in the weight category of 104 pounds. And she put over 235 pounds above her head. She did a snatch. Her name is Alyssa Ritchie. She got the gold medal in the Pan Am Games. And so Lainey and I follow her. And this is a post she just recently had. And it was a picture of her on a bed with an ice pack on her neck. Now, when you compete in weightlifting, there's 2 lifts and you get 3 chances at each one. And she went 6 for 6. She made all 6 in the world finals, which is unheard of. And she said this, she goes, find fulfillment in the sacrifices. People love the idea of winning an Olympic medal or a world title, but what few people realize is that pretty much every second leading up to the actual win is uncomfortable. It's painful and sometimes impossibly daunting, physically and mentally. Most people focus on the wrong thing. They focus on the result, not the process. The process is the sacrifice. That's all the hard parts. The sweat, the pain, the tears, the losses, the failures. You make the sacrifices anyway. You learn to enjoy them, or at least embrace them. In the end, it is the sacrifices that will most fulfill you. Isn't that so good? And she completely recorded every moment, the 4 hours up to her finally doing her lift, and what it looked like behind the scenes, all of her preparation and the mindset and the doubt, everything that was there. But so, yeah, I had to find that, Rich. It's just, that's really what it is, you guys. I mean, that's why we hear so many people say, this isn't a get rich quick scheme. This isn't a 1 to 2 year thing. This is a 5 to 10 year thing. And for you, those of you that are new on here, Cindy and Rachel, I'm so proud of you. Hi! So proud of you for coming on tonight, for plugging in, for being a part of this, and continue to do it. And if you can't, watch the recordings, because this is what's going to build your belief. This is what's going to remind you that you're not alone. This is what's going to remind you that we all go through failures. I've been in this 7.5 years, and I have to tell you, I've gone through the most growth in the last probably month than I have in a really long time. I've had a lot of just aha moments, a lot of awakening, a lot of self-realization of just struggles that I've had the last 1.5 years. And I'm so grateful for it. And I never would have realized it or seen it had I not continued to stay in the game and stay with LifeVantage, go to the events. Just always plug in when you can. And if at any moment you feel overwhelmed, just remember that is a self-inflicted feeling. Overwhelming sensation, that comes from you. So it might mean you have to cut something out, or it might mean you have to go to your upline and say, I'm feeling really overwhelmed right now. What's something I could take out that would just help me feel a little bit more balanced in the moments while I'm doing LifeVantage? And we'll help guide you through that, okay? Okay, so there was sadly another shooting in our country today, and it was in Colorado. It was in Highlands Ranch. It was actually a block away from where we used to live when we were in Highlands Ranch. And so the testimony I chose to share with you guys tonight is on depression. I just think when we hear stuff like this on the news, we have to be aware. We have to be the people, knowing what we know, that get to plug in every week with one another and love on one another. We have to be the ones that say hello. We have to be the ones that say, let's meet for coffee. Let's get together. I can't tell you, speaking of, I can't tell you how many women in the last month, 2 months that I've met with that said to me, I didn't want to show up today. I didn't feel like showing up. I've just been out of it. I felt like every time I show up, or I feel like there's so much pressure. And the pressure is coming from outside sources, social media, the hustle, thinking they should be doing more and feeling like they're not doing enough. But they show up, and then we're able to have this great conversation, right? And then I know I have a gift that I can share with them. So the testimonial is this, and you can find this on Vitality Living, which is where we can send our customers and prospects that have seen the ABC report and are very interested in the products. It says, hey everyone, I just want to say how much this golden activator, I love that name, this golden activator has helped me with my anxiety and depression. I struggled with panic attacks every other month, whether I was driving or at home, not even thinking about being stressed. After a while, it caused my throat to become swollen for about 1 year plus. Doctors did thyroid tests, blood work, ultrasounds, x-rays, and an MRI. Everything with my throat came back normal, and the doctor said it was just anxiety, which makes complete sense to me. I tried anxiety medication and nothing relieved my panicky feelings or swollen throat. Then I started taking this activator, speaking of Protandim, and after a month, I had no anxious feelings. I'm talking 0 depressing moods or anything involving anxiety. My throat has eased up a bunch to where it is not constant swelling, and if I need a little something at all, I'll take 2 pills and it will go away the next day. I will never stop taking this. It's been about 6 months now, and I've never felt better after having my son and all the wacky hormones that it did to my body.
Hi, Tanya.
Yes.
Daughter-in-law.
What?
That's my daughter-in-law.
It is?
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
Yes, and she has, her doctor has put her on everything from Zoloft to Lexapro to Xanax to Valium over the last 6 years. And when she started taking this, it totally took it away. I mean, she was even scared she had thyroid cancer because of the swelling. And so one day this last summer, she came out to the boat, and she has this habit of she picks her lip when she's really anxious. Mm-hmm. And she was just off. I mean, like I hadn't seen her in a few months. And my husband was like, what is wrong with Anna? And I'm like, I don't know. She's stressed out about something. So as we were getting off the boat, she said, man, I've been out of Protandim for 1.5 weeks. And she said, I'm just going nuts. And I was like, Anna, you should have told me I've got extra bottles. So, she got it ordered and started taking it again. But yeah, she 1000% feels a difference.
Wow, what a blessing. Okay, so that I'm glad you said that too, because you guys, if you hear I don't want to be the only one coming to the Zoom every week with these stories. If you have your own story that maybe you haven't shared, or you've got a customer story or whatever, will you please text me before Tuesday night and say, I've got the testimonial to share for the team Zoom, and I will have you do it. If you've got a favorite podcast you listen to or a book you've been listening to that we can share at the beginning of it, I would love everyone else's input on that, okay? Okay, so we're going to end with celebrations. I want to make sure for sure the people that are on here, but Paula Schlanger, she's a brand new distributor out of Minnesota on Gloria Brinker's team. She's brought in 2 customers already this month. Emily Dahlheimer's brought in 1. She's in Minnesota. Kristen Storm has brought in 2. She's in Minnesota. Gloria Brinker has brought in 3. That's one more thing I wanted to read to you from Gloria about the hair care. Gloria's team has been killing it. And I'm trying to get Gloria nailed down again to come on next week so that she can share with us. She said she has a way in which she's telling people why they need the Vitality Stack in their body. And she basically is getting like 100% turnover rate. Like no one's saying no to her. So I'm trying to get her on. But for those that are on here, Rachel, I want to say welcome again to you and congratulations on your new customer. I'm so proud of you. Christy Westmoreland out of Texas, she brought in 5 customers already this month. Fuego. Candy Clark, congratulations on your new customer, sweetie. Katie Salazar, I thought I saw her on here. Congratulations on yours. Caleb got 1, Brian Scott, Peggy Jackson. Kevin brought in 2 customers already. Rich has brought in 1. There he is. Congratulations on your customer, Rich. I just got 1 tonight. And then Marianne Walker, Carrie Leslie, and Tina Van Hill have all brought on new team members. So congratulations, everybody. I'm just so proud of you. Keep going, utilize those Mother's Day promotions. And lastly, here's what Gloria had to say when Des Mamet said that her sister was dealing with a very oily scalp and her hair was really dry from the system. And Gloria said, oily hair issues, from a natural health perspective, I recommend to my clients to put about a teaspoon of baking soda in the shampoo. Shampoo and massage it in well, let it sit, and then rinse it. Shampoo it again just with the shampoo, then condition it and let that sit for 3 to 5 minutes and then rinse. She said use a detangler brush as well and rinse. She said baking soda is a natural alkalizer, a gentle exfoliant, and has a soft feeling to it like rainwater. It works great. She said, don't do it daily, but people feel like, but when people feel like the hair is detoxing and kind of icky or oily, the baking soda may help. Candy, would you agree with that?
Let me unmute myself. Yes, I think, yeah. And it's going to work a little bit differently for everybody. From any of my customers, it all works a little bit differently. It's just like any shampoo and conditioner. You have to adjust it for yourself. With our guidance, we all know that we need the 3 steps together. But yeah, what Gloria said, I think that sounds great.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she said, this is for oily hair issues, you guys. And she said, better to mix the shampoo and the baking soda in your hand and then to use it. And she said, for this cleansing, they'll need more shampoo, of course, to do that. But she said that's a lot of her customers from a natural perspective. So,
yeah.
Okay. I wanted to leave you guys with that tip as well. So let me stop the recording, but don't leave yet, guys. And thank you for watching. If you watched the playback, mwah. Stop the recording here.